All right. Thank you guys for getting on this cold, snowy night here in the Carolinas, cold in Texas. And, I want to get right to the point. I've been hearing some things and people are not explaining the customer program correctly. And I want to go over how we make that happen. And, your 6 or 7 loyal customers is the most important part of when you first bring somebody into business. It releases your fast starts. It releases the $150 worth of the product spending spree that your new distributors get. And, it is crucial to get those customers because that releases all the other bonuses. It takes the 6 loyal customers in 30 days to release every bonus we're ever going to give you. And so I was talking to Ronnie today, and by listening to a few people and having some customers to get it confused about it. So when you first sit down to bring a customer in your business, number one thing is and Greta can attest to this. She's been with me longer than everybody here. And also Patty, is you got to have your own product story. If you don't have a product story, and whatever your product is, that's fantastic. But whatever your story is, that's where you become a professional sharer, not a professional salesperson. Salespeople don't really make it if you don't have a product story. You have to have that before you'll ever create a money story. So whatever you get emotionally attached to, it creates a better physical well-being. And the greens is probably my favorite product. Skinny Brew would be my second. I don't see me ever going without Skinny Brew again. I love the effects of Skinny Brew. I love the way it makes me feel. I love the fact that all day you forget to eat and you don't have any down moments. And all of you that are using this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so the beautiful part about this is when you're able to share that particular story with your customer. And here's how that goes. And today I put in a couple customers in my Help Club this morning. And hold on one second. And how I did that is I'm talking about, they see me drinking this funny stuff in my water and they ask what it is. And I talk about the reds and the greens and what it does for me and why I utilize that during my workouts. And then I shared the story. They said, how can I get it? I said, well, it's easy. You can pay retail. Do you like retail? Well, not if I can help it. I said, well, would you like to buy things wholesale? And I got several options for you. And so you can either pay retail for this particular product, and but I don't suggest it. I've only had one person in my 19-year full-time career with It Works Global to pay retail, and that was my banking partner back in the early days. And so the beautiful part about it is I said, you can pay a $50 fee and to become a customer loyalty for life. And I said, I don't really recommend that, or you can get committed. And we find out what they really want by me telling the product story, finding out what they want to address and how committed are they to addressing this. And it's that particular point when that begins to happen, I share the customer loyalty program. It's how, if you get committed to what you just told me you want to achieve physically, if you buy just those products every month for the next 90 days and you're committed for 90 days, you get to buy it at 40% off, and we waive the $50 fee. So that's where I'm seeing and hearing about the confusion. They get to checkout and they can either choose to pay the $50 one time and become a loyal customer for life. But why would they want to do that? Because if you explain the rest of it, if you buy a product to get committed to your health, and commit to it for 90 days, I'm pretty sure that if you get committed to the greens or in the reds for 90 days, you're not going to quit in 90 days. If you get committed to this Skinny Brew coffee, you're definitely not going to quit in 90 days. I don't know anybody that don't need some additional energy and have all the energy you need and start to lose that belly fat, because that's what it's targeting. But then I also, you've got to tell them about the perk points, that they get 10% dollar for dollar based off of the product purchase that they can start to redeem in the 4th month for free product or discounted product. And that is the customer loyalty as a whole in the whole program. One, do you want to pay retail? How would you like to get 40% off like I get? You talk about just like going to Sam's Club or Walmart or Costco, I believe it is, where you pay a fee once a year. Here it's a $50 fee one time, or we will waive that fee if they get committed to buying a single product or that group of products they want for the next 90. And they have the option to change that product from month to month to whatever it is they want in our entire mix. And they're acquiring those perk points. That's how Robin and I, for the last 19 years, almost 19 years full time, has kept a huge customer base. And we also, we have the follow-up. Now, here's what I love, and I see Ronnie, Heather, I see Greta doing it, and I know the rest of you are doing it, is with the Skinny Brew samples. If you think about what we're fixing to tell you, now that you can buy those product credits, I suggest getting 5 at the time, and I think that's like $30. But you can sell those product samples. That's a 3-day supply of Skinny Brew coffee that I noticed once you drink the first cup, you can get results. I have not seen one person yet that didn't have results and get like addicted to it. And so you can sell those for 15 to 20 bucks. I'm holding mine at 20 because my product is that valuable. And so I established value, 3-day supply that includes shipping, handling, and your tax for 20 bucks. They pay you, you've already purchased the credits. That creates you somewhere around a $12 to $14 profit right out of the gate, and the company sends it right to them. But once you do that through your app, it tells you exactly when to follow up with the person. They know, you know exactly when they get it, when they start it, because once they get it, it sends them an email. They respond to the email. That shows up in your app, and that starts to teach you how to become a professional to follow up with your customers. At that point, I hadn't heard of anybody yet that tried the 3 days of Skinny Brew that didn't want to become a customer. And once you become that customer, at that particular point, great customers turn into great distributors. Now, Ronnie, you and I was talking about that today, and you had a couple more things that I thought was really cool that I'd like for you to share with the group here tonight.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, one thing we was talking about was how that so often we tend to make people's decisions for them before we ask. I hear going back and forth about whether it's $15 or $20. You know, I just started telling people it's very simple. Either you can order it through as a loyal customer, and then the company gives you a discount and the company pays me. If you order it as retail, then the company's out of the picture and you're dealing straight with me. That means you got to pay me. It's cheaper for the company to pay me than you pay me, but it's up to you whichever way you want to do it. Believe you me, they go to Target, they go to Walmart, they go to any gas station, they go to anywhere in the world, and they're paying retail. There's a difference between retail and wholesale, and they're already paying retail. And so that's one thing you got to realize is, you know, there is a difference between the price, and they're already doing it. We just got to make sure that we explain to them why we're doing it. We could do it retail. I would rather you do it wholesale, but doing it wholesale, we have to go by the law. We have to go the way it's set up where the company pays me because I'm an employee of the company. But if they want to do retail, somebody's got to pay the taxes. Somebody's got to pay the other stuff. So it's either way they want to do it. The other thing that I was telling Rusty that by explaining to them and asking them, just start the conversation out and just say, well, let me ask you this. Which would you rather do, pay wholesale or retail? Because if they think about it, it's totally up to them, whichever they want to do it. Of course, 99% of the people, I'm going to do wholesale. Okay, well, wholesale comes with rules. That means you've got to be in the business. You got to do this. But when you look at what they're getting as a loyal customer, you know, they're paying the same price we are, 40% off. But if you think about it, they're actually getting 10% cheaper than we are because all the perks that that the company's giving them for reorders and all that other stuff. So, you know, of course, they're not getting paid by sharing the business, and that's the difference between being a loyal customer and a distributor. But that was the whole thing is, you know, be firm in what we tell people. Don't just go around like, I mean, it's like this. There's no way you're going to sell anything. Or how would you think about somebody that's talking to you about buying something and they're coming across like this? Is $20 too much or you want $5? How much you want? I mean, there's no way. I mean, seriously, but we act that way. And believe you me, you go to anybody that's serious about their business, go to a computer store and you're going to go, I'll tell you what, go to Verizon, a phone bill, and you walk and see how they tell you exactly this is what it's going to be. You tell me if you want this one. Oh, really? They don't turn around and go, well, this one is too high for you. What do they do? Well, then you want this phone, it's cheaper. I mean, that's all it is, people. That's exactly where we're at. If they want to get healthy, there's ways of doing it. We got to run our business just like all the other businesses out here. Verizon will be out of business if they would go to somebody and say, well, I tell you what, you can't afford that. Well, let me see what I can do to give you a discount. They just tell you straight up, well, then that may not be the best one for you. Let's go with a cheaper model. There's no discussion. And we got a good product that's going to help them get healthy, give energy. They're going to have to pay for it. The crazy thing about it, they're sitting there arguing with it. Nah, I think what I'm doing now is better. Well, then why are we even having this conversation? If it's working for you, why are you walking around miserable and overweight? But we've got to take control that our business is our business and run it like a business. And don't be going back and forth. Don't feel offended by asking for the price. Because like Rusty was saying, you know, you're setting the value. And if you make the value almost like it's negotiated, you can win, then you're I hate to say it, but I think you've said before, Rusty, that you know you're prostituting your business, and the value is going way down every time you do it. And you think of what it's done for you and how it's got you out of the rut, how it's changed your life. I mean, me and Amy, we're so excited about what it's done with our personal life. We can't help to tell people about it. So it's already up here. Let's keep it there. But when we start trying to work deals to get them to try, I would love for you to try. What do I have to do to give it to you? Then you're just bringing the value down. And the bad thing about it, it's you're making it not worth anything. And so that's why I say, and look at it this way, you don't need to sell to everybody, just to people that are willing to take your product. And so right off the bat, I don't waste my time talking to people trying to, well, what about, I mean, this is not, my product is not something that you're going to see at a yard sale. And they're going to come up and say, man, you got 10 cents on it. Will you take a nickel? I'm like, seriously? You going to argue over a nickel? It ain't even worth me beating you up for a nickel. I mean, it's just to a point. But yet we sit there and run our business that way, and we can't do that. If you want respect, you got to earn it. You got to put it out there. And so often we delay what we do because we're scared we're going to offend somebody. And, man, it's a business. I'm proud of this business. And I let them know it ain't for everybody. And what it does, it puts me up to this level. And my thing is this. If you're not at my level, then it may not work for you. Hey, that's fine. I can still love you. I can still pray for you. But that don't mean we're in business together. And that's just, you have to take your step to do that. And when we started doing that, it made our look at business explode. Now, we're not signing up everybody I meet, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not opening a daycare for adults neither. And that's the whole thing about it. We are serious. If you're interested, fine, and that's fine. We're going on. And that's why I was telling Rusty, we have got to start running this like we really want. We're proud of it. And too often we send we don't want to offend nobody, so all we're doing is pulling our business down. It's almost like we're pulling our business down to their level so they'll buy into it. People, we need them to come to our level so we can maintain exactly the same health they're dependent on.
Well, you know, Ronnie, when you bring people to your level, how Rob and I have been in business this many years is we've always been excited. The products really work. And so here's how I look at it. And I got a very large banking career, or had one 19 years ago, and done some crazy things in banking. One thing I understood early on, free has no value, welfare does not work. That creates dependency. And it's one of two things. What I want to teach this organization is how to go from a scarcity mindset, the lack of, like there's never going to be enough, to an abundant mindset. And so once you start to change the way you think, bottom line, there's more than enough for everybody, but you got to hold your posture and become a professional in what you're doing. And the day you get excited, people's not going to buy it works. They're not going to buy how much money I've made or done well into the billions of dollars of sales. They're not going to buy none of that, but they will buy how excited I still am after all these years. Because, you know, I got very sick and I was going to die. They gave me 6 months to live, and that will impact you immensely. But what it did, the one thing that set me on fire is how it affected Robin and how it affected my 2 little girls. And I didn't want my children to be living in that state of fear. And so I made up my mind to go fight, but I made up my mind to start to create value in my time. There's one or two things that you do every day. You can do the quotes of, and I like to put quotes out of things I read every day. You can put the Oprah quote of the day out, or you can, there's 2 things you're going to do with your time. You will either spend your time or you'll invest your time. And most of us we're sitting around and we're just spending our time, which is wasting it, or you can invest your time into something, invest it in your health, invest it in your business. That means you're taking the necessary actions that create productivity, that adds value to what you're doing. And you put your time in an investment in such a way that it pays dividends later. And, you know, when me and Robin started investing our time almost 19 years ago, what we did that very first month, we've never missed a check in almost 19 consecutive years. I mean, you're talking about we're 7-figure earners. and we've never missed a check after investing our time. So we continually invest our time, but now I invest my time through people like you guys that I want to see you live this particular lifestyle, because we have not had an alarm clock wake us up. And going on 19 years. In fact, it is my rule that we have no alarm clocks in this house, because I hated waking up by an alarm clock. And you've got to make up your mind. You deserve the better lifestyle. When you make up your mind, you have a compensation plan here that will put you in the 7-figure club. I got several girls on here now that's just before earning their first $1 million. And the difference between them and most people is they went to work, they made no excuses. Every single day they're in the trenches and they're fighting it out. And in the trenches fighting it out. And we go through the same old stuff that everybody goes through every single day. It's just how we choose to look at it, how we choose to invest our time. And I want to invest my time that adds value and creates value for other people, that enriches another person's life. I don't want nobody to be sick like I was. Nobody, because those treatments are horrible. And what I want to do, when I share my story and I share it with conviction and passion, and I can start them off either on the greens or the red stuff, it starts to alkalize the body, or I can get a person the energy. I'm excited about the value of that product, because I know it's going to give them, it's going to add value to their life. And therefore I'm going to invest my time, and I'm not just going to keep spending it. Looking at social media, and there's a lot of you that do social media and you do extremely well with it. There's a lot of us that do belly to belly, and several of us that incorporate several different avenues just to get the word out. People will buy you, whether it's belly to belly or social media, when you're consistently show up and you're highly excited about the way you feel, about your lifestyle. People ain't going to buy you if you're prostituting yourself, which is spending your time, which is wasting it, or you're prostituting their product by trying to get, I'll just take $3 for my samples. Bullshit. Mine's $20. And if you want to feel like I feel, it's how you cause that other person to see the value in themselves. And once you see the value in yourself and you become that valuable thinking person, you're no longer looking at price. And some of you have to, and I've been poor as dirt. My wife and I were below poverty when we were younger. And I vowed to her, I said, you will not live like this. You stick with me. And I promise you, one day I'm going to be a multimillionaire, and I'll take you places you ain't never been, and we're going to have a great life together. Several times, she never said it or never threatened it, but I thought, God, if I was her, I would probably leave me. I'd get out of this environment, because with dirt poor, and I worked hard and I tried, but everything I did failed except the dream I had in here. Now, every one of you say you got a dream, and that's all well and good. If you got a dream, that's all well and good. Until your dream has you, until it's taken hold of your insides, until it's got your passion to where it's going, once your dream captivates and grabs a hold of you, you absolutely won't make any more excuses not to get it done. You'll be engaging and putting your business in front of massive amounts of people, and you do it wherever you are. You become a walking, talking billboard at whatever avenue you're creating, and you'll be very consistent with it. How have we won over all these years? Is every day we are very consistent. Every day, if you watch my lives in the morning, it's the best day I've ever had. Do you know why? Because it's better than the alternatives that I went through 14 years ago. And Greta Douglas remembers it well. When I was going through all those treatments and I was sick beyond your wildest imagination, I was so big I couldn't get in an airplane, and I was confined to my home. And, my health is back, and now I'm headed in a different direction in the fast. But how did I do it? I've been putting the right things in my body. Therefore, it's created a particular passion, and that causes me to want to invest my time into people that want to go somewhere. And we can talk all the stuff, and everything we did up to a while ago don't mean nothing. I don't care how much money you made in the past. I don't care how much you've accomplished in the past. None of that means nothing. It's what you do from today forward. And when you take ownership of your time, and once you do that, you start to invest your time, you stop wasting your time. And most people are so welfare minded. You're so broke minded. I've been there. Shit, I've been there. I just sit back and life hits you so hard, you have to stop and think. But the people I know that's made it the biggest, they fight right through those adversities, because I'm going to promise you this, what Robin and I have determined, every time something hard hits us, and we just went through some hard shit the last few months with our daughter. And when it hits you that hard, you have to reach down in every fiber in your being and pull it out. This is going to be a great outcome, because we're not going to go and start to run or start to cry, start to beg. No, we're going to hit this problem head up. But every time we went through a big adversity, whether it was we were poor or cars blew up when we were younger, or we've had my father died, or I was really sick, and Robin's been through her own challenges, and now our daughter is, and bottom line is we said, what can we learn out of this adversity? It only is going to make us stronger because we're not going to run from it. I'm going to hit it head up. I don't know no other way than to go straight forward and to create a leadership pool that we move forward together. See, one thing I want you all to know, I appreciate every one of you more than you can ever imagine. And I do that from the bottom of my heart because I couldn't even begin to be where I've been without a great team. And I was in a meeting this morning with some pretty hot people at what we do. I said, I have the best team in direct sales, period. And I'll put this team against anybody in the entire world. I don't care what company you're with, or if you're with our company, I'll put my team against anybody. And they said, well, why are you so confident? I said, 19 years full-time with the same company, getting better every day. And everybody just about that started with me, they all still here. They're all still here fighting because you know what? We don't know how to quit. We don't know how to lose. All we know how to do is we keep grabbing and growling because we have a dream that's inside of us that the dream has us. And when you start to internalize your dream and your dream gets a hold of you about the goals and the places you want to go, there's absolutely no way. Like Alonda Tate, I was just over in New York, New Jersey, and New York. And I watched how she went about her day, her and Carissa Fitzpatrick, and how those ladies went about their day and how they engaged people, how excited they were about what they have. They were sharing their passion with vigor. They're sharing their passion. And I thought, hell, if I wasn't in this already, I'd re-sign up with them right now because I bought them and I bought their passion for what they were doing. And you know, one thing I learned from Alonda, she didn't try to figure out how much money you had in your pocket. She just shared value. Too many times we think, well, they probably can't afford it. No, the way you see you is the way you see everybody else. Alonda sees everybody getting really healthy, and her average auto ship, because I get to watch her numbers for her customers of between $150 and $200 worth of BV. But you know why? Because she sets people up to win. And she don't, let's just do one product. No, she ain't scared of it. She steps into it, steps out, and she offers passion. She offers value, and her customers are getting results. And it's one thing I know about all these years in this business. When you got a great array of customers, you know what else you got? Great customers turn into great distributors, because some of these top leaders here in It Works Global, period, started off just being good customers, turned into great customers. They got excited about a product that changed their physical well-being, and they wanted to share it. That's where people, they mislabel MLM. Oh, is that one of those MLM? Yes, sir. I'm proud of that. I love it. Do you know why? Because they got it all backwards. Everybody thinks this is a freaking money game. It's not a money game. This is a big business. And when you do this the correct way, product first, money story will always come. But when you share enough and you change enough other people's lives, I promise you, by investing you into them, not just spending your time. When you're spending time, that's what you've done all your life. That is a social learned behavior that you learned from your parents, your grandparents. They just showed up and punched you 9 to 5. Ain't nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. That's what you want. But when you make up your mind that the 9 to 5 is no longer good enough for you, like Ronnie said, most people are getting second jobs to pay for the first one. And therefore, why would I want a second job to pay for my first job when I could have a little business at the house that will pay for all of it, and you have the ability to grow it? And when you get passionate about what you're doing, therefore, again, that dream has got to grab you. You got to have something so compelling that it stirs up an emotion in you that you cannot sleep any longer, that it brings tears to your eyes, and you will not make any excuses about your time. That's all it is. You're either wasting your time or you're investing your time. And too long, we've just spent our time and we wasted it. I'm 57. I ain't got no more time to waste. And I promise you, I'm on my A game. But I still ain't got no time to waste on nobody. And I want to give you the best version of me. And every day I try to get a little better. And I'm not bragging on me. I work hard at me. I'm the biggest problem I got. But I work hard on trying to get better. The older I get, the more I know I don't know, the more I'm hungry to learn, the more I want to add value and enrich other people. And when you do that, I have a product line that I know that will change your life. If we do this the correct way, there's absolutely none of you. It can't be anywhere that your vivid imagination is taking you right now. So what would life be like if you had an extra $5,000 a month coming in? What would it be like if you had an extra $15,000 or $25,000 a month? You've got these more bonuses right now that every one of you have the ability to capture any part of that you want. And you can't just spend your time to go get that kind of money. You have to start thinking like that 6- and 7-figure earner, but you have to put professional action to it. Nothing's going to happen without your action. You're either where you are because of the lack of action, or you're where you are because you took massive action. The only thing we did, and I've got the lady that started with me, with that Pam Souders in here. She's back with us, and she's watching us from afar tonight. And the bottom line is, she can attest that we took radical, massive action, because I made up my mind. I wasn't going back to no bank. Number one, Ms. Lackey was worth it. Number two, Ellen and Samantha were worth it. Number three, I was worth it. And I wanted to live a different lifestyle. I got tired of being micromanaged and getting a little check at the end of the month saying, this is all you worth. And every time I signed it, I felt sick in my stomach. You know why? That's when they gave you a check. It's because when I signed it, I was agreeing that that's all I was worth. And I knew I was worth so much more. So the day I got my chance for freedom, my passion was high, and we come home, and here we are all these years later with a still high passion. But we've learned a lot in the course of this business. And my whole passion here is to help every one of you on this live tonight, and everybody you know, grow from where you are to where your dream is. That thing has taken you over, and it's created that passion and that emotion that you're going to go out and apply that in such a manner that you're going to change other people's lives. Because I know what's happening today. There ain't but one thing lacking. One thing lacking in all the world today is leadership. That person is going to be genuine, going to be authentic, that has the character and integrity, step up and step out. People know that they can count on you to every time to stand up and perform to the highest level, and you're going to put things in their pathway that you know this product line will change your life. And once that starts to happen, I guarantee you this business will change your life. You know how I know? Well, here I am 19 years later. The only passive income I've had is it works global for all these years. I hadn't needed another one. You know why? Because I put my all into this. So if you're doing this part-time and just like the hobby, that's cool. That's what you want. But if you really want to live life on your terms, and you put everything you got into this, and you consistently gain ground, you consistently grow who you are, and you consistently create a product story, you consistently get better, and you have the hunger to get better, and your dream takes you over, there's absolutely nothing can hold you back from being anything you want to be. In fact, the only thing I believe is your dreams and your visions aren't big enough. The dream that's got you is not big enough to where God has actually laid that in your heart to take you to the next level. And once that dream, you start to grow it and it gets big enough that it will carry you to the next level, it's like a tsunami. That dream, once it gets a hold of you, it picks you up and pushes you. Number one, you can't sleep late in the day. It's going to have you up. You're so excited to get up to meet your day because you know you're going to finally meet the right person, because you're going to be the right person. There's people that need you to share a product. They need to feel better. They need to look better. They're just looking for hope. And you know what? There's nothing more than all of us are, is we're just a bunch of hope brokers. We're giving people hope. And how do you do that? We lend them our hope. And because we're so rooted and grounded in what we do, every single day I'm lending somebody my hope and my faith, and we can do this. We go and do it. How do you know? Because I've already done it. Let me lend this to you. Let's go to work together. And let's don't make a bunch of flipping excuses to why we can't get it done. And therefore, if I can teach you how to invest your time instead of just spending it, because if you're just used to spending it, what's happening? You're wasting it. Because most people, you're already spending money you've not made yet. You're just hoping you're going to make it. That's where the credit card companies just got you. And if you're spending money that you don't have yet, you will damn sure waste and spend your time in places it doesn't matter. Now, when you start investing your time, you're going to start to pay you first. We're so used to paying so many other people before we pay us. We just work our asses off to pay other people. I want you to work your ass off to pay you first before anybody else gets paid. And it'll come a time that you won't owe nobody nothing, and he'll pay you all of it. And that's a mindset I believe you need to have if you want to have a bright future, if you want to live life on your terms and stop allowing circumstances to dictate your future due to certain conditions. You're the one that's setting the conditions. And once you start to do that, as you invest your time, you'll stop spending and wasting your time, and you'll follow. This system is so precise and concise that if you follow the 3 steps to success and you do everything in a particular order, in a particular time frame, there's absolutely, you can't go anywhere you want to go with this. If your dream is big enough, and when that big dream gets a hold of you, you'll be here in the next 19 years, just like us. You'll be here in 19 years, living life any way you want to, because what you chose to invest your time. And you might have to get rid of some people as far as spending your time, because if they'll waste their time, they'll damn sure waste your time. And if you allow them to waste your time, that's on you. But if you say, no, I can't go do this right now because I'm investing my time in my business. and I'm investing my time for my future. I'm investing my time because I want to be with my kids more. I'm investing my time because of what? I want to be with my grandchildren more. I'm investing my time because I want to be with my wife more. After 41 years, daggone right, I want to be with her more. Because that's the difference between spending and investing and wasting and having value for what you do. And, you know, most people have that 9-to-5 mentality, that job mentality, and they think that's all is for you in life. Well, I call BS on it. That is not all. That's all you've been programmed to do, because if they teach you something, they're programming you the way they want your life to be, because they want to what? Be in control of your life. I guess I'm just kind of a renegade. Hell, I ain't never liked nobody telling me what to do. I just wanted to live my life the way I wanted to live it, but I have never been scared to get up and go after what I believe was true and what I know is true at this point. And I just want you guys to live like us. I want you to live like whatever your dream is. And when that thing grips you, I tell you what I'll do. I'll be here to support you around the clock. I've been doing this for many, many years. When me and Pam Salter first got started all those years ago, we worked 18 and 20 hours a day of productive work, picking up the phone. We didn't have no social media. We picked up the phone. We made massive amounts of phone calls. And guess what we got? We got a hell of a lot of no's. We got a lot of maybes. We got a lot, well, catch me next month. But in my first month, we got 635 people that said yes. You know why? Because she and I never made no excuses about putting the massive radical action into it. And therefore, we saw things to begin to move forward. And when it started moving forward, you know what began to happen? It created a bigger belief in how we were going to invest our time. And we're not just going to spend it and waste it. When you start to invest your time, it's like making an investment. The first year, it's not much. You get a few 6-8% on your investment. By the 5th year, it starts to make a difference. And then your compound starts to kick in when you invest your time. And there's nothing more than when you understand how time is compounded and how it will compound itself. Once you begin to do this, you can live life any way you want to. And I hope this makes sense. Ronnie, you got anything else to add?
Just two things, man. One is this is what really turned me and Amy around from the way we were looking at everything. So I'm hoping this happens for you. So I'd write this down. Start sharing your story. That's the first thing. Second thing, stop or do not stop sharing your story. You see, your story is so important. And the third thing is take control of your conversations. Very simple, people. It always happens. You meet somebody the first time, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing great. How are you? They always come back with, how are you? There you go. Man, ever since I started dating this coffee, it has been unbelievable. Take control of the conversation. We're too busy walking away, meeting people going, I know everything about them and they knew nothing about me. Start taking control of the conversations. When you walk away from somebody, they need to know you and your story and walk away with, wow, that guy's interested. That lady's interested. Start taking control of the conversations. But the first thing you gotta do is share your story.
So, you know, Ronnie, once you share the story, as you incorporate your story, and the best way to put your story in line, to create the storyline, is to write your story, write it down. And in the midst of your story, you always ask the questions. You ask the questions to find out what they like, what needs to change in their life. And, oh, I'd like to have some energy. And when I say, yeah, well, yeah, I was the same way. I started drinking Skinny Brew coffee. Now I have so much energy, I forget to eat. And that is a fact. And Greta Douglas is the one that turned me on to, she got her coffee before I got mine. She said, it's been 2 days and I'm forgetting to eat every day. And I said, I hope I forget to eat. And daggone, first day, Robin said, did we eat today? I said, no. I said, I'm not even hungry now. And so, you know, I know we need to eat, but this stuff with all the stuff is the way I feel. I never crashed. And Ronnie knows what kind of workouts we do and how hard we work, trying to stay in shape and take care of ourselves. And we're not having any lulls where we're crashing at all. So I think everybody needs to be on Skinny Brew. I think everybody needs to be utilizing celery, the reds, the greens, and the collagen. That's what's working for us old guys, and we're highly active. But, you know, all I want to do is put you in a position to win. I want to get into your mind. And just if I can trigger one thing, it's become a product of our product. And if I can trigger the next thing, is stop spending your time. When you spend it, you'll waste it. It's like my girls like to go shopping, and they always come home with things I know they don't need. It's just they want it. See, they're spending money frivolously. If they would invest the same amount of money, look where you'd be in the next 5 years. And if you're wasting your time, you ain't got no money. If you're just spending time, you don't have it. You're broke. If you start investing your time, everything about you starts to change, and everything. And you won't just be talking about prosperity and all this stuff that I hear a lot of people talking about. No, if you're a good steward of your time, you'll be a good steward of your money. You'll be a good steward of your health, and everything you think about will all be, how does this affect me? If I invest my time today, how does that set me up for tomorrow? What kind of standard does it set for me tomorrow? And if I invest my time wisely, if I create other people and show them how I'm investing my time, guess what begins to happen at that point? Well, I teach other people how to invest. I lecture at some major colleges in the entrepreneurship program because of the book I wrote. And the bottom line, I'm teaching these students that you don't have to listen to that curriculum. There is more options out there. It's how you're going to make time compound itself for you by investing your time. That will work 100% of the time. That's how super wealthy people stay super wealthy, is they understand the concept and they understand their value, how valuable their time is, and how they invest it next. And it's not a better investment in your time is if you start taking care of your physical health, because I've already been sick once when they gave me 6 months to live. That ain't pretty. That will scare the hell out of anybody. And when you make up your mind, all right, I've been there, I need to get away from this wasting my time to invest in it, and I invested in my health heavily. And at that point, it's put me in a position to live life any way I want to. And I want you to do the same. But you can't continually put, procrastination is a satanic ritual, and it's a disease of the mind. We're going to start Monday. I'll start Saturday. How many Saturdays and Monday? And I used to be guilty of it as well. How many have we wasted just spending time thinking instead of investing our time? So you have 24 hours in a day. The difference between super successful people and people that aren't. There's one thing that does not discriminate. God gave us all 24 hours in a day. It's how we're investing our time. Guys, I love you. Anybody have any questions at this point? Any questions at all? Anything we need to address or cover? All right, guys, just know you're made for more, that you're very important. God put you here for a particular plan and a purpose. It wasn't to spend your time wasting and talking about it. It was to invest your time so you can get a return on it. And you do that by enriching other people's lives because you added value. I love you guys. Until in the morning, y'all make this the best night you've ever had. This will be on my YouTube first thing in the morning. Good night, everyone.